This week, I've urged Attorney General Eric Holder to exercise leadership and avoid the constitutional standoff that the Department of Justice has created with its stonewalling in the Fast and Furious gun walking scandal. During a Senate Judiciary Committee oversight hearing on Tuesday, the Attorney General sounded very willing to negotiate, at last of course, over releasing these documents. You know, it's been 18 months. That's fine if the offer isn't hollow. We've been talking for a year and a half, as I indicated, and a show of good faith would be to produce the documents in question and all of them for sure. The documents concern the government's Fast and Furious program. In December 2010, Border Patrol agent Brian Terry died in a shootout with Mexican bandits. Those bandits were armed with weapons that our own government allowed to be purchased and transferred illegally under Operation Fast and Furious. Whistleblowers came to me with these allegations because they weren't getting any attention from their own Department of Justice. They testified nearly a year ago about the use of this practice called Fast and Furious. The Department of Justice denied allegations to me for 10 long months before being forced to withdraw its denial in the face of evidence to the contrary. Yet today, the family of Brian Terry is still waiting for answers. It's waiting for justice it's entitled to. The FBI doesn't have the shooter in custody, and the Justice Department is still defying a congressional subpoena for information about how all of this happened. The chairman of the House Oversight Committee has scheduled a vote next week on whether to hold Attorney General in contempt of Congress for failing to turn over the documents requested by the subpoena. The House committee action is straightforward and very necessary. Contempt is the only tool that Congress has to enforce a subpoena. The Department of Justice can avoid the action by complying with its legal obligation. The contempt citation is not about personalities. It's a procedural mechanism in our system of checks and balances. If Congress is afraid to pursue answers to questions, then we in the Congress are not doing our job. People deserve transparency from their government. You know, transparency leads to the truth about what's going on. It puts people in a position to defend their rights. It protects our freedoms. The facts are important as a matter of accountability. Related to Fast and Furious, at the Senate hearing this week, Attorney General Holder said that a previous Attorney General, Michael Mukasey, was briefed on a gun walking in government's Operation Wide Receiver. And he indicated that Attorney General did absolutely nothing. Well, there is no evidence of that. In fact, documents show Attorney General Mukasey was briefed about a different case involving a controlled delivery. The evidence also shows that more recently, Assistant Attorney General Lanny Breuer did learn about gun walking in Operation Wide Receiver and did nothing, absolutely nothing about it. Again, the facts matter, and the nation's top law enforcement officer should take care to get these facts right. Since the hearing, I've asked Attorney General Holder to provide any information to the contrary in support of his statement about the Attorney General Mukasey.